Assalamualaikum. I am Mohd SAIFUN ANUAR and this is my project proposal and the title is Malaysian economic suffer as a result of port and terminal congestion due to the COVID-19. Let's start with introduce our group member. First, Amal hawaris, second, Sheng, and third is me, SAIFUN ANUAR. To start this topic, I acknowledge and to be discussed today. The first topic of this proposal is abstract, keyword, introduction, problem statement, research question, research objective, research significant, literature review, and lastly, methodology. First, the abstract. This study aims to find out the traffic jam are input and how the government deal with them. The congestion of the port is analyzed using quantitative method to assess the similarities and difference of factors. Next is keyword. The first keyword is logistic, port congestion, factor congestions, effects congestion, and solution of congestions. Next, let's we look at the introductions. This introduction is a part of a side of the coast or a coastline with one or more harbour where ships can be docked and transport passenger or cargo or from land. The maritime industry covers a wide range of service and the most important which is transportation of goods of passenger. The overloading of port is putting cargo on the shipping company and thus the port management under pressure. Congestion in port is a phenomenon associated with delay, queue, and additional travel time, as well as a durability of ship and cargo in port. It has unpleasant consequences for logistics and supply chains, often resulting in additional costs, trade loss, and trade disruptions. The port administrations need to improve the efficiency of ship handling, expand port infrastructure, and hire workers to cope with the demand of the port service. Next is the problem statements. The primary problem statement of this study is to define or to investigate the factor of congestion of maritime side and land side port congestion experience within the Cape Town container terminal and to find out the extent of congestion affect the relationship between the port, local business, and Malaysian economies. This study has provided some survey questions related to the factor and effects the congestion for companies and that provide service provider around the industrial area. So this is the best solution that the government or other parties can take to address the problem of port congestions.
Research question that have to achieve for this proposal is what are the factors that influence port and terminal congestion? Second, how does congestion affect the relationship between the port, local business, and the Malaysian economy? Third, what is the best solution that the government or other parties can take to address the problem of port congestion? Next is research objective. The research objective that must achieve for this proposal is first to investigate factors that influence port and terminal congestion. Second, to investigate affect the relationship between the port, local business, and the Malaysian economy. Third, to determine the best solution that the government or other parties can take to address the problem of port congestion. Research significant. Research significant is to increase volume passing through the container terminal of many ports around the world, continue to place pressure on both the capacity and question of port. In the case of the Port of Cape Town, current throughput volumes are ever increased due to the expanding economy of the Western Cape. This increase for containerized goods place further strain on the terminal and its overall efficiency. In addition to increased volume through container terminal, the Port of Cape Town experienced severe weather condition and system-related challenge which impact the operational efficiency of the container terminal. The challenge relate to safety within the port terminal, operation efficiency, vessel congestion, and vehicle congestion. This weather and system-related challenge have, according to David from Transit Port Terminals, become inherent working condition of the terminal and are deemed an increased risk to port efficiency by Transnet port terminals. Solution to this challenge include terminal expansion, division of vessel, and terminal equipment adjustment, among others. However, it is important to note that this solution comes with certain limitations and drawbacks. Terminal expansion, for example, is not currently a viable option due to the infrastructure of the port and surrounding city, although plans have been developed.
Today, I would like to present about the literature review for our topics which is related to port congestions. In this chapter, we'll discuss on the literature review that presented by previous research that relate to this study. There are some researchers that obtained from several previous research which is about the factor, effect, and solution of congestions that the government or other parties can take to address the problem of port congestions. First, I would like to explain about the factor which could contribute to the port congestions. A port is a location where a ship can dock to handle commercial cargo or passengers, or to meet the strict requirements. Hence, the port plays an important role in the transportation of various types of goods. However, port congestions is a major challenge faced by many ports globally, and it occurs due to many reasons like war, pandemic like the COVID-19, lack of port handling equipment, lack of yard space, and location of port. Hence, I would like to explain three of the factors which will contribute to the port congestions. The first is bad weather. Bad weather also is the one factor that will cause the congestions of port. Bad weather will cause the ship could not navigate smoothly, and it may cause the ship caught in dangerous situations. For example, ocean storm which often occur on sea may disrupt the ship and disrupt the ship could not arrive the destination at the right time. According to the Captain K. Subramanian, he said that the situation of port congestion is made worse by the bad weather during the monsoon season, when vessels are delayed at ports in China, Hong Kong, and Singapore. The second factor is insufficient equipment. Insufficient equipment in the ASEAN to meet the increasing demand of container have given impact to the port congestions. Equipment shortage and port congestions in the region are also affecting the intra-ASEAN trade. And Project 44 data revealed that 370,000 TEU were loaded to Singapore. This situation had given impact to the ship, which they need to wait longer than before due to the insufficient equipment at port. The third factor is carrier alliances have horizons. Carrier alliances have horizons as the international shipping industry has shifted toward larger and larger ships, mega ships to fill those ships. Because of partnership loading bigger ships with the largest volume of goods, unloading cargo ships swiftly and efficiently has become more of a task for the longshoremen operating on the ports. When the ship transforms to the bigger size of ships, the capacity of the ships also have been increased. Hence, the volume of the container on board which are in big size and create the challenge to the port weather in space and also the time. The fourth factors we will cause the port congestion is the increase of anchorage conditions. The increase of anchorage conditions, which have been forecasted increase in the future, will impact the increase in the frequency of traffic jams and intensity of delays. Besides the predict future growth in vessel volumes, severity, airport freight, and passenger is projected to contribute to this increase in risk severity. Ocean carriers are currently experiencing slightly increased berthing and offloading or loading conditions as a result of the terminal's expansions. More time delays are anticipated to occur during berthing than during vessel working hours, suggesting that berthing process may be the cause of the future conditions for ocean carriers. To summarize it, anchorage conditions will become a bit less, then berthing and working conditions would become moderate concerns. Furthermore, the findings reveal that the frequency of anchorage conditions is the most significant problem, but the time impact of berthing and working conditions also should be paid attention. Next, I would like to explain what is the effect will caused by the port of conditions. Port condition has unprecedented consequences on logistics and supply chains. More than half of the time needed to transport cargo in Africa is wasted by the port conditions. Lack of logistics skill and cash constraint explain why most importers have no incentive to reduce cargo downtime. Longer downtime lead to inefficiency, which can have an adverse effect on economic growth. The second effect is cargo turnover time have been delayed. Any container eating out wherever their space in the port and terminals. Cargo turnover time have been delayed is one of the consequences of the port congestion. Shipping lines or shipping operator cannot afford to keep the ships waiting at anchorage for days on end due to congestion. Port congestions can also result in reduced tonnage capacity on certain trades, forcing shipping lines to trade blank sailing. The Philippines had a lot of full import containers coming in, but not enough export cargo going out. The third effect is the port conditions will slowing down in business. Port condition is far-reaching and affect all industries, resulting in slowdown in business. Some of the drivers could not independently operate contract to a trucking company. The impact of the port conditions is that the number of trucking companies can do it in a day for the trucker can do as the turnaround time for the driver suffer greatly. The case that they were forced to drop off the empty container in the city, which were also hit with additional demolition and detention charge. The subsequent effect is it reduced a list of country commodities being exported effectively. According to the National Bureau of Economic Research, the longer transportation time lower trade considerably with each day spent in transit, while the value of the commodities. Long transit time also reduce a risk of country commodities being exported effectively. Long drought periods are in the interest of certain participants in the system according to the World Bank. Importers will suffer the cost which pass from the custom brokers when the period of goods storage is long. In addition, when the domestic market is monopolized, the downstream manufacturer has a motive to maintain cargo downtime high in order to quit other producers out. This phenomenon have created an efficient and increased the logistic costs. So, they have several solutions which can taken by the government or other parties to address the port conditions problem. The study concluded that supply and demand due to certainty and unpredictable time uses, optimal planning and transport decisions waterway network is the best way to solve conditions in inland port. This is because study examine the effect of the conditions supply uncertainty and unpredictable time dependent inland waterways conditions on the optimal operation planning and transport decisions. Shipping company can achieve better supply balance by negotiating with several ocean carriers who have contact with the terminal operator in several ports, without the consequently affecting the expense. It can provide valuable solutions for inbound and outgoing supply chains. The second solution is adopting the virtual container yard system. It is a modern concept and powerful CIM solutions that underlies carriers collaborations. Carriers rarely use common platform to swap slot and establishing a similar technique for container is simply a little step away. It allows users to communicate information and exchange empty container equipment through the internet while off dock. Hence, it solves the port congestion problems. On the other hand, it improves efficiency of driven and might wisely used on land. The third solution is ensuring that crane operations are both skilled and experienced. To solve the encroached congestions, that should ensuring that crane operating are both skilled and experienced in conducting crane movement swiftly and effectively, as well as the proper maintenance of the terminal equipment. By ensuring that vessels are correctly loaded at the port of origin, shipping companies add in the facilitations of efficient and effective offloading. As a result, terminal workers will be able to dump containers more quickly and accurately. Furthermore, shipping companies can help terminal workers optimize loading by providing accurate documentation of loading plan.
Methodology. A research overall plan which is take a quantitative approach. This is a clear factor that influence port and inland terminal congestion and investigate affect the relationship between the port, local business and the Malaysian economy. This is determine the best solution that the government or other parties can take to address the problem of port congestion. The type of quantitative analysis to be pursued in this study will be described. Next is sample of specific population identified in the industrial area of this survey. The industry area was chosen. The concept of the survey often refers to the collection of information for a particular population and typical use a questionnaire as a tool for the survey. The sample survey was used to gather data from selected people. The questionnaire was developed and used for gathering information from the sample selected. Besides that, the questionnaire will be given to customers who use the service from freight forwarder companies around the industry area of industry area. So this is the example of research design flowchart. First is data collection, next is data analysis, statistic, package, social science, and then we get the result. That's all for me.